Today, I'll be talking about how to revitalize your marriage so that you will continue to enjoy your marriage again. How to bring that love, that passion, that zeal, that happiness once again in your marriage, right? In this video, I'll be talking about some of the tips you need to implement in order to revitalize your marriage all over again. And also at the end of the video, I will also be offering you a coaching section that will drive everything we're going to be discussing here in this video home. My name is Angela Zugo, your relationship and marriage coach. I support couples and singles to achieve healthy and happy relationship with their spouses. I'm going to encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell to see my future videos. If you like what we do here, please give this a thumbs up. Okay? So, let's get started. Relationship in general is the most rewarding area of our lives. At the same time, it's also the most highly challenged. Marriage, as you know, is sweet, but it's also a hard work, right? There are different challenges and marriage stressors couples experience in marriages today. The problems may be arising from too much conflict and arguing, lack of commitment in the marriage, infidelity problem, financial problems, absence of romantic intimacy and love. Even poor communication is a problem. Changes in career or lifestyle, unavailability of one of the spouses, lack of attention, domestic violence, religious differences. My spouse is not living up to expectation. He's not living up to his or her full potential. He's not being considerate. He or she is selfish. These and many more are some of the problems that we experience in our marriages today. These problems impact, in one way or the other, marital functioning. So this problem might be coming from the relationship problem, problem from the relationship that your partner is not communicating well, is not understanding you when you talk to him, or, he or she lacks relationship strategies. Sometimes it could be an external problem meeting us where we are. Life challenges will come, something like health issues, things that are beyond our control, right? I understand. All these things are gearing towards the problems and the stresses we experience in our marriages today. In truth, marriage can have its ups and downs. There's no doubt about that. However, marriage is honorable, is sweet, is possible if genuine couples will invest in their marriages. If they can learn one or two things, marriage strategies they can implement in their marriage to move and be happy again in their marriages. So it's possible, right? All you need is to learn one or two things. Some of the tips that I will be sharing with you here will be of a valuable access to you if you can implement it in your marriage. Some couples might be facing, at this point as I'm talking to you right now, one problem or the other in their marriage. And at this point, they might be thinking that they cannot do this anymore. I can't go forward. I can't. I have done this over and over. I can't do it. I'm fed up. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Right? They may be saying that they can't do this anymore. They are almost on the verge of giving up on their spouses. Sometimes these problems we experience might lead us to lose focus in our marriages, to lose focus on why we even got married in the first place. It might dry us up. It might dry the love we have for our spouses, the energy, the passion you have for your spouses in your marriage. So, right now, whether your marriage is sleeping already, or is about to slip away, or you are making plans of getting a divorce, or that you're not happy entirely in your marriage, whatever situation you have in your marriage right now, I'd like to invite you to consider and implement these tips I will be sharing here in this place right now. The first tip I want you to understand, to implement right now in your marriage, is the art of forgiveness. Partners in marriage are imperfect. We know that. We're not perfect, right? We tend to make mistakes from time to time. They hurt each other. They make mistakes. But love allows us to forgive each other, to overlook hurts while building each other up in marriage. So we need to learn how to forgive. It's no-go area. You cannot have a very good relationship in marriage if you don't learn how to forgive, because we must make mistakes from time to time, right? But the ability, the grace to be able to forgive your partner is the key of moving your marriage forward. Most marriages have ups and downs. But if you stay focused on why you got married in the first place, you will not lose it. So I'd like to invite you right now to forgive your spouse in order for you to create room for repair, for love, for increase, for passion, for development, for growth, for happiness again in your marriage. Okay, let go, forgive him or her so that both of you can be light again. Take off that load from your body, those emotions that you stuck in your mind, take them all off and be light to be able to show off in your marriage from a place of love, peace, and understanding. The second tip I'd like to offer you right now is put love first in your marriage. Love is wanting others to succeed, right? To be happy and be fulfilled. Love conquers all. So since it is the dominant force in our marriages today, is the main foundation in every relationships, I invite you to put love first. And one of the ways we can put love first is by giving that gift. It takes focus, it takes effort, and it takes commitment to give that love, to put that love first in your marriage. It will cost you something, but you need to be there because it pays at the end, right? Number three, third tips I want to share with you today is learn to communicate effectively. Poor communication in marriage is a problem. Nobody is having that patience to communicate well, right? Communication in a relationship is the collaboration between two people that requires each person to share and air out their mind, their views, and what their needs to their partner. Say it out to him or her in a very clear way, right? Don't hold it inside of you. Don't pretend as if everything is normal or everything is good while you are dying in silence. Air out your view, right? Bring out your feelings. Communicate those feelings to your partner for him or her to know what really is going on with you, right? If you don't say it out, nobody will know. If you want to make a request, say it out. If you are hurt in one way or the other, say it out. It might take practice to be able to be open to your partner, but it pays. That is one of the keys of, building connection again in marriage. It's so important. The next thing you can do is also get your husband to open up. Men ordinarily don't know how to open up. They feel disturbed. They don't know how to open up because the way they view things, they might be thinking that when they say things to you, you might, judge them, criticize them. You will not be there for them. So because of the way they will feel, they choose to remain silent and not to open up. So talk to your husband. Talk to him. Get him to open up. Ask him about how he's feeling in the marriage. Is he feeling okay? Is there anything he would like to discuss with you? Secure that safe environment where he can express his needs to you. Communicate your own need to him. Okay? Both of you are in this together. Talk about the stuff that hurt you. Sometimes people do not feel comfortable talking about their feelings because of how other person will view them. Right? So talk about your feelings. Let them out. Don't hold it inside of you so that you'll be, having that load or until the day you will burst out and things will now fall apart. Right? The next and the most important one about communication is the part of listening. A lot of us do not listen. If we can pay attention and listen, we would have solved half of the problems we have in our marriages today. That is the key thing. Listening is the key one, is the big one for this. So put aside your point of view. You just need to listen without even bringing anything in reply or saying something. Just show up by hearing your partner because he or she will feel heard and understood. Particularly women, when he or she is being heard, she feels understood. She feels the problem is already half solved. So do not assume he or she understands what you're saying. Ask questions to confirm if what you heard is what she's trying to communicate. Pay attention to details. Listening is the big one. If everyone can continue to listen to each other in marriages, problem would have been solved long ago. So let's make attention. Start today to practice this one. This one is a huge one. Today, what is she saying? What is she saying? Or what is your husband or your wife saying? And begin to act according to what they're saying. You would have solved some of the problems you have in your marriage. The next tip is the fourth tip is the art of being patient. Nobody is willing to be patient these days. To be patient doing what? I've been hanging on here for a long time. Do you know how much time I have stayed with him? Wanting him to change, wanting her to change. And I've not seen anything. I cannot do anymore. I cannot wait anymore. I cannot be patient anymore. I am done. My patience is exhausted. I want to invite you to please hang on a little while. Check it. You have already invested your time, your resources, your energy, your love, your ideas, your sacrifices. You've got children together, and you are planning to get in a divorce for a solution to your problems, and you're going to start all over again. That is a hard work, my dear. That is a hard work. Can you try to wait a little bit longer for your partner to become who you really want he or she to become? The best version of them. Maybe a little bit waiting, a little bit patient will solve the problem, right? Patient and waiting is the big key. But now, patient might be a very good access. But you do not have to wait if your life is at stake. I don't mean that if you are in danger of any domestic violence and you are waiting. That is not what I'm advising. But I am saying that if you can fix one or two things in your marriage, give that person a little bit of time to come around. They will turn around. They will become the best if they are given a little bit chance. If you can wait a little bit longer in your marriage, a lot of things will have been solved instead of getting a divorce and starting all over again. Is a hard work. The fifth tip I want to share with you today is build intimacy always to bond and to connect. This one is a powerful one. If you do not build intimacy in your marriage, you and your partner will grow apart, even when you're living together in the same house, in the same home. So, I'm going to invite you to do everything you can to make sure that you are intimate with your partner. It's the big one. Physical intimacy is important in any romantic relationship. You can emotionally grow apart in your marriage if you do not nurture intimacy in your relationship. When there is intimacy issues in your marriage, it will make spouses to feel unwanted, unconnected, and unloved. Intimacy in marriage keeps and binds partners together, so you cannot do without it. Make sure you are bringing it. Both of you are together. You know what it does? If you are connected and if you are intimate with your partner, there is no amount of suffering, no amount of challenges in marriage that will come upon you guys and two of you cannot shoulder it together. But when you are separated, you see even those challenges will become a burden instead of the challenges that we want to overcome. Okay, so being intimate with your spouse in marriage not only influences your conjugal relationships, but it allows the husband and wife to stay committed, to stay attractive, understanding, and active in their marriage journey. You can build intimacy in your marriage in different ways. By improving your physical affection with your partner, by being romantic through gift giving. You give him gifts, buy him gifts, buy her gifts. By giving quality sex, by appreciation, showing act of appreciation, showing appreciation when he or she does something good. By being honest and by caring for each other. By moving from me to we mentality. So in order to wrap up this, what I'm trying to say right now, the tips and everything we have discussed so far in this video, I'd like you to do this little exercise that I promised you at the beginning that I was going to offer you a coaching section to drive everything we have said here home. This, I believe, will bring that positive energy that you need to restart again, to come out again, to reconnect again in your marriage. So number one question I'd like to ask you is, what got you attracted to your wife or husband before marriage? What did you see in him or her that made you go for him or her? I'd like you to go in time and space. Remember those few years ago, few years back. Close your eyes and feel that special moment. Go into yourself and begin to bring those positive energy at the beginning of your marriage. Right? Experience it. Enjoy that positive energy at that time. Remember those feelings and bring it to life right now. Bring it all into your body right now. It's going to help you. It's going to give you the energy, the strength, the motivation, the drive that you need to be able to do everything we're going to be discussing or we have already discussed or every decision you're going to be making to make your marriage move forward, right? To make your marriage to be happy again. The second question I'd like to ask you is, what do you most admire about your wife? Before or now, it doesn't matter. What do you admire about your wife? List 3 things that you admire. List them out and go through them. Mean it. Be serious. These are the things that make me love her. I love her for this. I love her for that. I admire her for this. Write it down and go through it. Put yourself inside it. And then what these things I'm talking about will motivate the love. Will bring that love all over again. That's the whole essence, right? The love will come again. You will see something that will motivate you to do it all over again. What are those things that you admire about your husband? You as a wife, what do you most admire about your husband? These things will help you to bring that love all over again. The love that seems to be dying will come back again when you begin to admire each other in sincerity. The fourth thing I want to ask you is, What stressors are there in your marriage that should be eliminated or minimized or even be handled right now? How might you do that? Is there any way you see that you know that these are the problems I have in my marriage? Is there anything you think you can do right now to solve these problems you have in your marriage? One thing, one little baby step is enough. As a husband, what can you do differently to reinvigorate your marriage? One thing that you can do to reinvigorate your marriage once again, right? What specific change do you know you should make right now, you as a husband? A change you should make right now at this instant. I don't mean to start tomorrow, something you can start as you're hearing my voice right now. Whether your wife makes that change or not. But I have determined to do this very thing, to change my way. Whether anybody makes any change or not, I have decided to make this change to take my marriage to the next level. And this change I'm going to do will put every other problems in my marriage in place. You as a wife, what specific change do you think you should make? Whether your husband makes any, that will change everything you have in your marriage. One thing that can put other things into perspective. The other question I want to share with you is, what are the 5 things a woman in love can do for a man, for her man? You are in love, right? You are once in love. And let's assume you are in love right now. What are 5 things a woman in love can do for her man? And I want you to write it all down and then start to doing them one at a time. Start practicing it right now. Don't postpone it. It might be difficult to start doing something, but I guarantee you that if you start doing it, it will get easier. All right? So overcome that restriction, that challenge, that thing that will push you back. Just overcome it. Do it anyway. Whether you feel as doing it or not, just go ahead and do it, right? And see the result at the end. So as a man in marriage, as a man that loves his wife, what are the 5 things that a man that loves his wife can do for him or her? You are a man and you love your wife. What can you do for your man? What can you do for your wife right now? 5 good things you can do for your wife. I want you to write it down and start now to do it one at a time. When you're done doing all these things, I really want to hear your experience. I promise, by the grace of God, you begin to find the energy, the motivation, the drive to move forward, to bring that happiness again, to forget about getting that divorce, to solve your problems in your marriage. Because every marriages have one thing or the other they are facing. But we have decided to show up, to solve it, to bring a change, to move from where we are today to doing something else. And that's where listening is playing a bigger role. You listen and you act, right? So let me put all this down and do it. It's an exercise I'm giving you. And I want to hear your comments. Let me hear your feedback. When you're doing this exercise in sincerity, I really want to hear your feedback. How do you feel? What will be the feelings you encounter, you experience when you're doing this? And what have you been able to do? If you have listed all this down, how many have you been able to do? You don't need to rush it. You don't need to do bigger things. Just one little step. No matter how difficult it is, one step at a time will make a difference. Thank you so much, and I encourage you to also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you find any value with it. Thank you so much. Bye.